Well, I have resurrected from the dead, came in and out of my own womb, and reverted myself as Nicole. And look at all my ancestors there in the wall. So sweet. So as I promised, I'll deliver. And today's video, it's about the fear of money and what I have embodied by becoming a master number in this incarnation, being able to basically magnetize all the resources I need at will. Kind of like one of my main teachers, David Hawkins, would say, now I have a problem of abundance. My only problems right now is how do I manage all my wealth and set boundaries for that. And that's quite impressive, actually, because come from nothing and lack and survival, and yeah, so having like completed my hero's journey kind of gives me the credentials to support you through that. And then honestly, like, then it's just so much to think about. It's management, like dealing with people. Like, what do you do with like $3 billion? Like, honestly, like, what do you do? So we're like, okay, let's buy lands and create new societies and implement world peace, something like that. But at the same time, it's like you stop caring. Yet, if you're not there yet, and if you're still struggling to even be in your passion and receiving infinite financial resources for what is it that you want to do, and you're stuck in an office, or you're one of those millionaires or billionaires that aren't happy, so it's like, what do I do with all my wealth? Like, then stay in. But this video is more niche for the people that are not there yet, the people that haven't even made their money, because it's fear of money, of institutions, fear of being caught, fear of responsibility, and fear of power. I'm assuming that for the billionaires and millionaires that are watching, you already don't have the fear of institutions, responsibility, maybe of being caught if you're doing something that's not that legal, maybe there, then you can stay watching the video. Yet, I want to address this to the part of the collective that's stuck in self-sacrifice. How can you keep playing by the matrix rules while dissolving into new earth paradigm? How can you become your own bank? How can you be your own government? And how you can trust this, because there's always soul supporting your next phase, because your next phase is theirs. What does that mean? The moment you decide a higher paradigm for yourself, a higher configuration of consciousness, that you're worthy of receiving, let's say, right now where I'm helping people at is to get to like $500,000 a month. Yet if for you it's like, if you want to get to 10K a month, and that's like your first step, then you need to know that if you want to get to 10K a month, baby step, you're broke, you're working in an office, and that's like the next thing you want to do. The moment you set that intention into the world, those souls that are supposed to help you get there, the people that are going to play the roles, because we're here in a school of, we're all playing actors for each other, we're all supporting each other's dissolution of the ego, of conditioning, and getting each other closer to home to God, source, the realization of yourself as one with everything, and then enlightenment, whatever. So if part of that journey is for you to embody your worthiness and your finances, and then being in your passion and doing something that you love, and waking up lit up every day to like, oh wow, I'm so excited to give this gift to the world, and getting highly paid for it, the moment you decide that's for you, all those souls to trigger the shit out of you, they're gonna show up. And the souls that are gonna come support you through that, they're gonna come, because it's of their benefit for you to rise up and claim for yourself that that's what you deserve. I think the minimum anybody should receive is 10K a month in profit for whatever they do. Doesn't matter if they're a cleaner. Be the fucking most high-end cleaner and get paid, because why not? We're here to have fun. And that's the minimum, I think, fun coupons, at least for survival. Basics. And you can jump to $500,000 a month, and then like, what do we do? Then we can talk about big things. Then it's like, what do we really do with these resources? But back to you, back to the person that just wants to get out of their 9 to 5, wants to step in their passion, and want to be highly paid for their gifts. Okay, so you need to let go of the fear of institutions. What's institutions? It's anything that you consider authority. And that can be trauma from your father, from your mother, from society, from school, from a teacher. You're in a religion community, a priest, a shaman. What else could it be? A rabbi? Like any fear of, if I step into my power and I become my own sovereign being, my own institution, my own, like, this is how I want to live and I'm not going to take anything less than this, then you need to accept it, claim it, and say it. And then you're going to be tested relentlessly by anybody that the closest beings to you are going to reveal to you all your limiting beliefs and all your doubts and all your hindrances and all. Yet you got to stay consistent and persistent. Again, I'm using the symbol of 10,000, but it can be anything. If you want to start with 5, if you want to start with 20, I deserve this. This is what I deserve for what I want to give. You only need one client for whatever it is that you want to do. You only need one client in 10,000. And then you're done. Why think small? And by client, I mean an expression of love, because clients don't really exist. And I'm going into metaphysical here. Clients don't exist. Students don't exist. Nothing exists. It's just a hologram. And we're all learning how to love each other. We're learning to rediscover love through each other. So I'm not saying you don't have a soul. I'm not saying that there's no humans. And don't get that, it would get too psychedelic. I'm saying that we're all choosing our careers, our ways to express what we love, our words to give and receive and exchange. May it be resources, time, presence, a prayer, money, housing, whatever. We're all doing that to learn how to love. And this goes back to the teachings of the Law of One. In 4th density consciousness, we're learning how to love, how to forgive, how to understand, how to remember that we're one being. And when we come from that state of enlightenment, then we don't even have to think about the fear of responsibility or fear of power. Because you would know that we're all sovereign beings and we're all equally responsible, and we're all equally in our power, even when you're not. When you think you're not in your power and in abundance, you're giving all your power and all your responsibility to that moment into believing that you're separate and into believing that you lack. 4th density consciousness, it's still stuck in self-sacrifice. It's saying, I need to give all of myself because I love. And because I'm in love with every being in the group. And because it's sweet to just like love everybody, kisses, cuddles, whatnot. There's a hindrance because it lacks wisdom. It lacks the wisdom to set its boundaries, to ask for what it wants and needs, and to create individuation, and to sometimes retire from the seeming world and the let's merge with other souls and become one kumbaya. And it discovers that after sacrificing itself and giving itself lifetime after lifetime, it doesn't feel nourished. It ends up depleted. It ends up not really manifesting or crystallizing. It's dream life. It's full embodiment of. To me, dream life just means it's the pushing out your soul into the world, where everything you look at is something it's beautiful, something that you want to see in people, in things, in circumstances, in feelings. It's like you finally crystallize your soul's highest potential and expression, because everything is dream life, because you're in a dream. You're in the dream of your beliefs. So when you pass the self-sacrifice journey, then you start being wiser with your choices. And you start seeing like that serving yourself is almost as same as serving others. You don't have to choose. A soul that's still like in selfishness and greed and doesn't want to be powerful yet, or the ones that are powerful and then are tyrants, that's a whole extreme of the 3rd density or even 4th density service to self. Yet there's another imbalance of the 4th density in which you are all like the victim. Because right, if you're a tyrant, somebody needs to be abused, somebody needs to be a victim. And then, or you want to save the world, so you become like overly giving and all philanthropist, and you give all your resources to save the trees and the planets, but you forget, what am I here to do as an individuated particle of consciousness? To express and radiate and ripple my unique frequency into the world. That's when you balance more into the 5th density. And then the fully unity consciousness, the really balanced being, is when you know that when you serve yourself, you serve the whole, because there's no separation. And in that moment, there's no self-sacrifice. There's not outsourcing. Because if you sacrifice yourself for another, you're saying that that other needs your self-sacrifice for them to be worthy. So you're hindering the evolution of that other being too. And you're saying that you're not fully worthy of being your own person, your own being, your own entity. Everybody's whole and complete. And then we transcend everything into a more balanced feel of harmony and collaboration and giving and receiving and instant manifestation and things being miraculous and like just the expression of your soul's, your heart's, the joy moment to moment. And then you become really good at what you do because it just becomes an effortless joy. And then it's just a flow. And you're in the full flow acceptance of what is in the flow of life. And I think that's the highest state of embodiment of your masculine and feminine, that disappear that moment you're genderless and you're just power, absolute power, divine love. Okay, in that moment you're your own bank, you're your own government. Actual banks start calling you, offering you things, because you become telepathic and you send signals. And then everybody, the problem of abundance, you become your own government because you don't need the government to tell you what to do or not to do, because you make your own decisions. There's a subtlety of like, you always live by the laws of nature, yet if you're in a seeming country with seeming borders and, you travel and whatnot, and, there's some things you do, like just to, follow, quote unquote, the rules to play by society, yet you are beyond that. You're playing a role, you're playing a character, and doors open and things become easier, and you just receive exactly what you need for that little thing to move forward. And it's just a more sweet, magical, smooth place. You're always in the right place at the right time. And again, those souls that are supposed to support you in that are going to be happily supporting you, because supporting you in that is the next step for their soul's evolution. So it's always a win-win. There's no win-lose. There's no victim, perpetrator, tyrant, slave. It's just a frequency of infinite queens and infinite kings, and then you enter the kingdom. And that's the kingdom of heaven, where everybody is abundantly electrified by their passion. No self-sacrifice, no fear of monies, no fear of institutions, no fear of government, no fear. No need to outsource your power, because you know that all of that is you. And if you're always relating to you and supporting you and playing you and giving of yourself to yourself, why not do it wisely and while honoring your individuation? It would be boring if we all had the same gifts. Imagine waking up and in the world that you wake up to, everybody has your same face, your same hair, your same voice, and your same gifts. It'd be boring. It's like being alone in the world. And we are, because it's just one particle, yet with unique, specific coding and frequencies that all together make a beautiful rainbow. And that's when you activate your rainbow body.